Halifax, Nova Scotia. We popped down here just to visit with Daya's friend. We're going to cross over before we get run over, but you can see Halifax is a little bit hillier than Moncton.
Somebody's driving your car?
It's my exact car. There goes my car. Same color and everything. Let's get this so you're actually in frame. There we go. Close. I don't know if I want to walk like this all the time, but
Happy Saturday, everybody.
there you go. You might remember John from some of the other lives that we've done. He came up to Moncton and we did some things. So we thought we'd pop down here. We're visiting with them. We had a nice meal out last night. We went out for Korean at
Young Bocha. Boca. Bocha?
Young Bocha. Okay.
B-O-C-H-A.
The cool thing about that was it had robots. So you ordered on a little iPad at the screen, and then the robot brought you your food. Now, not everything came on the robot, though, did it? So we had waitress brought a few things.
That wasn't a robot?
She might have been a robot. So whoever was on is gone. We're talking to ourselves now. Yay!
Like, oh, that ginger is back.
Yes, there he is. Now, I do have people that call themselves the replay crew that they can't watch when I'm actually live. They come on later on and rewatch them. So if you're rewatching it later on, thank you. I'm going to turn the camera around after a bit so you're not just looking at us. You're going to see what we see because we're heading towards Citadel Hill.
Beautiful downtown Halifax.
So tell us about Citadel Hill. Why is Citadel Hill here and what is it all about?
Well,
Give me the 10-second synopsis of the history of Nova Scotia
it was
and the rule of the British Empire in this beautiful part of the world.
It was built by giants back in the 1500s as a piece of one of the games they like to play with giant boulders and large tree trunks.
Yeah, you can see what's going on. That way, through John's hair, is Citadel Hill.
It is a fortress.
And why would you need a fortress in a city like this?
Well, you've got a very large bay. We are on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. So, in order to protect from sea attack into the Halifax harbor, we erected a giant fortress.
And we as in who?
We as in who? I believe
What flag is flying up there?
that is. I can't even see.
You can't see it. I believe there's a Union Jack flying
Yes.
over this fort because it is a British fort. Part of colonialism in Canada, the French and the English both came here and called it their own and fought back and forth. So the British established this fort to protect the bay.
And I don't believe it was ever actually attacked.
I think you may be right. Welcome, Media. You're on from Helsinki, Finland. She is on the bus. She's going to watch this later, so she'll be part of the replay crew.
Fantastic.
And there's the harbor hopper going by. So what's the harbor hopper, you may ask?
It is an amphibious vehicle purchased. I'm gonna say they started about 20 years ago here in the city. I was still working on the waterfront waiting tables at the time. And just another a method to entertain tourists and teach them the history of our city. It would drive around the entire city talking about all the various historical landmarks, and it would finish with a drive into the harbor and take you on a scenic tour of Halifax Harbor, and yeah, finish on the waterfront. It was I've done it myself a couple of times, and it was actually far more enjoyable than I had anticipated.
So how expensive is that, John, to do that?
Well, it's been quite a while since I did it. I'm gonna say 15 years.
Okay.
And I think it was like $60 or $70 a person back then. So it's
For like an hour's tour?
an hour and a half maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
So
How much time do you actually spend in the water?
20 minutes.
Okay. I've never done it, so
Yes.
I've seen it lots of times, but I've never been in it.
Please don't take that as the gospel truth, as it's been a while. So, but you
So
know,
write it down now, that is exactly what it will be. And when you go to the harbor hopper, you just say John sent you. It's only $60, And it'll be an hour and a half, 20 minutes in the water.
Yes.
Gospel truth.
Or or Google is your friend, and you can check it out.
Yeah, you can see in the background we've got a new building going up. Halifax is always under construction. It's a growing city. It is the largest city in Atlantic Canada.
That is our local high school downtown over there.
Dun, 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 where were you looking?
Yeah, just right
Right here. There, see the red?
Yes.
No, you can't because it's looking at me. There you go. That's better. There's one of the local high schools.
Yes. Called Citadel High, aptly named.
Why would they call it Citadel High? Being right there next to whatever this happens to be.
Well, I believe this is named Citadel Hill.
Oh, it's a hill. That's why we're walking up.
I'm not sure if there's any correlation, but it seems possible.
All right, back on us. Because you're not really seeing anything the other way. So Halifax is built all on hills.
Yes.
For fat people like me, I'm gonna give myself a heart attack climbing up this hill.
So the aerial view of this fortress is interesting because it has a bit of a star shape. There's all kinds of, if you look at it from above, all kinds of outjuttings of the wall of the fort going around, so it has kind of vaguely an asymmetrical star shape.
Why do you think they built it that way?
I have to assume that it was a sound military decision in terms of, easier to defend. The specifics of which I'm not quite sure of, but that would be my guess.
Okay.
If we had more time, we could, pay for a tour inside the Citadel and ask.
Not doing that.
It's not in our budget.
That's not in our budget.
So this way will take us around towards the entrance.
Let's go towards the entrance.
The entrance. Entrance. My hard consonants aren't working very well today.
This is what it would look like if a bird was about to poop on us.
Yes.
In this angle. We won't do that though.
I'll walk a little bit behind so we're posting the picture.
And I'll crouch down.
That works. That'll be
We're
comfortable.
talking about giants.
That will be comfortable for that.
All right, who's on? Media said she was on. She may have disappeared now. I see there's a couple people on. Once again, I apologize that we're not doing this at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. We thought we'd give the girls a break and they could do whatever they want in the morning. And John and I would come out and see what's happening outside. And then later on, we'll just do our own thing and you guys won't be invited. Ha ha.
Maybe you can post a pic or something later.
I might be able to post a picture or something. If you're on Instagram, you can watch that. I did post though today, I think it happened yesterday or the day before though, that we passed 250,000 views on the channel. So thank you everybody who's been watching.
Congratulations on that. Well
Thank
done,
you
Rob.
very much. It's all me, nobody else. I did it all. I take all the credit. No, it's a group effort. Thank you very much.
Oh.
And we've got other people coming. Morning.
Morning.
People.
Oh, I hear some pipes.
Can you hear the pipes? We get a little closer, you'll be able to hear them. I'll flip this around again. You can see we're walking along the side of the fortress.
Realizing we are getting a more and more obstructed view of the harbor.
Yeah, as the
time
city
goes by.
builds up, you can't see as much.
When I moved here back in 1997, I think there were like one or two really, really tall buildings. And there was kind of a rule, there was a height restriction. So I think that
So
was...
they weren't allowed to obstruct the harbor back then?
I don't know if it was specifically just for that, but I'm sure that was part of the choice, or part of the decision. And I think probably some of the rest of it was to allow for better view of the older historic buildings as well. So
you can see there under the bridge, I don't know if you can see some of the ships or not. There's one kind of right there because Halifax is one of the naval ports for the Canadian Navy.
interesting fact, this bridge that you see in the distance is called the McDonald.
After first Prime Minister John A. Macdonald.
The old bridge, I believe it is. Old bridge or new bridge? I always get them mixed up. But regardless, a few years back, I'm going to say about 10 years ago, they did a project called the Big Lift because the harbor stretches way, quite a ways down, and there were a number of container ships that came in that were too tall to go under the bridge. So for a couple of years, they basically lifted the entire bridge and added massive segments to the highway part of it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It was an insane undertaking, and kind of a bit of masterful engineering for sure. There were some amazing fog pictures of seeing, just the bridge kind of creeping up out of the fog, and this massive section being placed into the gap, kind of thing. Probably find them on the internet somewhere. But,
and right now in the middle of the bridge, we've got a massive Canadian flag. I'll kind of zoom in on that because this is Canada Day weekend here. Monday is Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
All right, let's keep walking and see who else decides to chit-chat here. So the pipes have stopped. Now it's not a specific time, so is someone practicing?
That is a good question.
I was thinking it was going to be like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock that they would have them go, but...
Yeah, it's about 20 to 10 right now.
Yeah. Last time I was here doing this walk was maybe 2 years ago. I'd come for a work function, so I came up here.
Okay.
We were just trying to think of the last time we were in Halifax. We came briefly last year when Dea was going off to a concert in Montreal. She was home from Montreal, but flew back for a concert. So we just had one afternoon or one morning just to wander around. We don't spend enough time here. We have to come down more.
Hey, you are always welcome to come down and stay whenever you like.
There you go. That's what we want, free accommodations. And you can see there's a robot lawnmower.
Yes.
The city is overrun with robots. They bring you your food and now they cut your lawn.
Yes. All the robot lawnmowers are for Citadel Hill are in the areas behind the fences.
Okay.
Anything past the guardrail here is done by humans. My assumption is because they don't want anybody walking off with a
robot lawnmower.
Yes. Oh, here comes
Harbor hopper.
Another harbor hopper, or the same one.
Why is the Canadian flag flown at half-mast today? Do you know?
I do not.
Do you know who's passed away? I know in New Brunswick they're flying half-mast because one of the Irvings passed away. And the Irving family owns New Brunswick. And there goes the harbor hopper.
You can hear the tour guide narrating rapidly.
So if we run beside the harbor hopper, we could get the whole tour for free.
Yes.
Let's wander over and just look at the signage here for a second.
Oh, we got somebody.
Oh, I want to see the guard. Do you? Hello, hello. There, we'll zoom in on the guard. In his traditional outfit. It would be very hot in those wool jackets,
Today it is
kilts.
a bit cooler, so.
The kilt would be alright, but the wool, everything else would not be. Here, I'll give you the price range here. So $13.25, free if you're a youth. Alright, let's just pop over here.
And if you would like to send us money, we will go on a tour.
Stop
inside
it. Don't do that.
Just kidding.
Alright. What do we know about this church?
Well, it's the clock tower?
Yeah. It's on all the postcards here.
It is. I don't really...
What's famous about it?
You're putting me on the spot. I don't know that I have any information for this one.
It's very famous because it is the building that is right next to the Scotia Bank Centre, which is where the Halifax Mooseheads of the Quebec Major Junior League play. Also, many of the concerts that come to town are here.
Mm-hmm.
You may have seen Anne Marie or Celine Dion or Garth Brooks or I don't know, whoever else. They all come here.
I've seen Matchbox 20. I've seen Goo Goo Dolls. I've seen Stuart McLean come here.
Stuart McLean, do you guys know who Stuart? You probably don't know. He's a CBC guy. CBC is a Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
But he was very famous.
Don't forget, our audience is mostly in Europe.
He was a very famous Canadian personality who
Storyteller.
So he would come here and tell his stories on stage sometimes.
Okay.
Yes. We got a little bit of information over here.
We'll go this way so we're not in other people's way. And if you're wondering about the clock tower, I don't know. I could make something up though. So if you want to read this, you can. Ari has a famous saying that when you're on vacation, don't read. So we were at the Fortress Louisbourg and we were going around, and I think we did it in a record amount of time because we weren't allowed to stop and read any of the placards. The Halifax explosion. Do you guys know about the Halifax explosion? Well, in 1917, a ammunitions boat came up here and collided, and they had a very short amount of time to escape, but 1,600 people were killed in the explosion. 6,000 left homeless.
It was the largest man-made explosion in history prior to nuclear weaponry.
And there you can see the ships in the harbor. So one of the worst Canadian tragedies ever. And you can see all the ships during the Second World War that would have been around here too. Zip over here real quick. That's kind of what you'd see if you're inside. And there it shows you the aerial view that John was talking about before, what the fortress looks like.
Interesting kind of vaguely star formation kind of thing.
Gives you an idea what the Halifax Harbor looks like. Some of the other islands and things that are around. Alright.
We can do a lovely tour to some of the islands in the harbor.
Carry on here. I'm still very curious why the flag is flying at half-mast.
Yes. If you look directly to your right, you will see the area in which around July 29th of 2007.
He's going to tell this story. I'm surprised he is. I was going to ignore it and not talk about it because it's part of his shame. Well, let's put you on camera. If you're going to tell this story, let's tell the story and we'll look back at where it happened.
So directly behind us, back around 2007, July 29th, I believe, one evening with a few others in gregarious, energetic action, we ran up the hill, scaled the first iron fence, and I ran up, and being rather dark, in my memory, I had thought that second one was just a little bit of rope. I thought there was another fence beyond it that you could climb over before you fell through the gap, but I was very, very mistaken, and I tumbled down about 20 feet. And
into the moat that was empty.
Yes, landed, and about 60 seconds later, I realized that it seemed like everything was intact until I raised my arm and looked at it, and it was at a very, very awkward angle. So I, with the help of the people who were with me, I climbed out and walked over to the hospital, and was in a rather large cast for about 6 months. But yes.
Which part of that story, you can hear them again. Part of that story too is that John is a musician, and so it didn't really help his playing career to
kind of
have to do all that.
Permanently damaged my hand, so yes, there was not much in the way of a professional music career after that.
So moral of the story, be careful in your decisions.
Yes.
Everything has consequences. Hello, Joe from India, welcome. Hello, Olia from Poland. To answer your question, Olia, I do not have a cat. That cat in the thumbnail is John's cat. So it was kind of my teaser. I know lots of you out there are cat people, and so I just wanted to show you the cat. I wasn't sure whether or not the video was going to take place around where you would see him more often. We just thought we might as well go and explore the city, so that's what we're doing. What's happening in Poland? What's happening in India right now? Airman 12, where are you from? Oh, here is our lawnmower. Yeah, it's quite the steep incline to do.
Yes, it does.
It's quite impressive. You're not seeing it now because I'm off camera.
And as you can see there, you have an example of what we would call kind of green roofing.
So the flower beds and things on top of the roof.
In an effort to boost the foliage within our city.
Olia says it's 30 degrees Celsius in Poland right now. Very nice. It's 12 here apparently.
Yeah.
It's going to climb up. It's supposed to be 21, I think, later today. So it's still early in the morning here.
It is.
A good variety of the architecture going on down here. The Halifax Sports Bar and Grill.
You can see some of the vastly shorter buildings. Those would be the historic ones that are from when the city was built, that are kind of being overshadowed by the much larger ones like the BMO building there.
Let's go down into the city.
Sounds good.
Because if we keep walking around the Citadel, you can see there's the Union Jack Kawasaki
there we are.
flying overhead. Yeah, we've walked this before. Let's go back down into the city. You can see there goes the harbor hopper down into the bay.
We're kind of losing our view of it, but George's Island is just over top of.
Yeah. What's George's Island famous for?
It's one of the military encampments. Not the right word. What am I looking for?
Internment centers?
Yeah, like it would be kind
They
of
put
an
prisoners there?
No, it was like there are.
Is that where all the people with leprosy went?
Not that I'm aware of, but.
I'm rewriting history right now.
Yeah. But there are a lot of cannons, old cannons, and military bunkers and things of that nature. It's a beautiful island to tour. I've been over there a couple times myself.
Okay.
And yeah, it's kind of, I would say, kind of an early warning system for anybody trying to enter the harbor and take it from.
So there you go. So another military outpost that was there. What do we have people saying here? Joe in India says it is 31 degrees in Chennai where he is. I'm sorry to hear that your mother's not well. Hopefully she will be better. Sounds like you've been busy the last few weeks. Now, anything that we say here, take it with a grain of salt. That's just kind of the way we are. There's a bit of foolishness happening. So yes, there is a bunch of truth happening in what we say, but there's going to be some made up stuff too, I'm sure.
Rob and I have been friends for
almost 6 months now. So, but before that we were together too.
Yes.
We were university roommates for a little while, but we knew each other before that. We went to Malagash Bible Camp together, and his father and my mother were good friends when they were younger, both growing up in the Truro, Nova Scotia area. So our families have a long lineage together. And so we were kind of saddled with each other whether we wanted to or not.
Pretty much.
So we have the option of going this way, where the Parks Canada sign is here. You can see I'll steady it a bit, as much as I can steady anything. Or we can go right across that lawn and down to that sidewalk after this car goes by, though. I see you turn towards the traffic. Your mother's better now, that's great. Kudos to her. Now you can get back into the stamp world.
We got some stamps.
No, just kidding.
We've got some stamp collectors.
A lot of stamp collectors come on here. A lot of post crossers are on here. I'm not sure a lot of Lego people. Some people do it a little bit on the side. But mostly stamp people tune in for the live streams. I like to talk about stamps. There used to be a stamp store here in Halifax. I'm not sure if it's still here or not.
There is
Halifax Stamps, I think it was called, down by Scotia Square maybe, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still there or not. I know there is one, or at least even a few years ago, there was one over in Dartmouth.
Okay.
Because I remember I had found a collection of stamps that, one of my relatives had,
Passed along to you?
Passed along, and I took them in to have it appraised.
You go first.
Okay. In which I was informed that there was
very little?
Nothing of value other than, sentimental.
Okay.
The sentimental variety.
That happens.
Yes.
Stamp collecting isn't about value.
Exactly.
Enjoying the experience and the history on those little pieces of paper.
For sure. So this street will take us down to Spring Garden where we were last night.
Okay. So, hey, let's go over towards the library. It's kind of a nice spot. We'll work our way back down to the waterfront after.
I am just going to check my phone, see if there's any messages from...
Okay, I'm gonna just turn this around so you can see his password. No, I'm just kidding. So John, speaking about passwords, what's your ATM bank account number? No. So, we are not the only ones out here. People are walking their dogs. Actually, the couple in front of us, you can't see because the camera's not pointed that way. We've already passed them once on the Citadel. So I think they're moving faster than we are.
Yes, we passed them up on
Yeah.
Citadel Hill.
Can you see over this way? Nothing. Nothing. What do we have here? Is it possible to shoot a live cross vertically? It will be more visible, or is it impossible to turn the phone over? Yes, it can be turned over. They recommend that you shoot them in this fashion versus horizontally, but I know if you're watching it on your television, you kind of get the black marks on either side, so it's possible. Good morning, Charmaine from Maine.
What is the reason for the vertical recommendation?
I'm not sure, but you can switch it, and I can try that. If you guys want me to do that in the next live stream, I'll do that. I'll try to do a horizontal one for you. You see that all my content when I post it is all horizontally. So. Oh, Joe has joined post crossing and sent his first card off to Germany. There you go. We're slowed in our pace a bit here. All right.
We're coming up on Halifax Folklore Center here. This is a...
I'll turn it around so you can see.
That is a musical instrument store. It has been a staple of the city for a long time, and it's kind of, we have some of our premier luthiers work there.
There you go, Halifax Folklore Center.
They will work on pretty much any stringed instrument you have.
Just not today because they're closed.
Yes. Except for maybe auto harps. As I had one in my possession and I took it in, they're like, this is more work than I'm willing to do, unless you're willing to sink a lot of money into it.
Okay. So what did you do with the auto harp then?
It is still in my house, destined to maybe go up on my wall as a decoration at some point.
Okay, so it's not usable anymore?
It is, and I might look into repairing it, but it really just requires a few more felts for the keys kind of thing to repair it. But, you know, I've got enough on my plate for the most part in a general day that kind of gets relegated to the bottom of the list.
Okay. I'll show you. We're at a kind of a shopping area.
Yes. This is
But
spring.
we're also part of the Dalhousie University campus.
Yes. This is our engineering, the engineering section of our university,
Okay.
which is part of Dalhousie. It used to be its own institution called TUNS, T-U-N-S, Technical University of Nova Scotia.
Okay.
I can't remember how long since it was purchased by Dalhousie, but it's been quite a while now.
Let's cross it. All right, we'll head towards the campus a little bit here, and we'll walk across. Now, what you were seeing a minute ago were the tents that are set up, part of the homeless issue that we have around. So they have signs up saying public housing, please. So there's a great cry out for the government to help out. So well, that's what you were noticing a minute ago, if you're gonna comment. So even in Canada, we have problems.
Yes.
Hard to believe, but yes, we do.
More so since COVID.
Yes, COVID has really hurt a lot of people in many different ways. All right, this building that we're kind of focused in on now is the library for the university, correct?
This is the library right here.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. The intention behind the design was it for it to look like books
Stacked on top of each
yeah,
other.
kind of crookedly.
So we're going to climb up to the top, and then you can... No, we're not going to do that. There'll be as little climbing as possible.
But
well,
there's-
hello, Stephen from Australia. Welcome. So now we have Australia, we have Poland, we have the United States, we have India, we have Finland. We're doing well. You kind of get a glare if I look back at the... Not a glare, but you don't really get the true perspective. It's a big building, so hard to see what's going on.
It is fantastic library, as it, it is, there's everything from, tons of computers for people to use to, I believe there's a recording studio in there that can be rented and used by the public to,
There's a free concert in a minute.
Oh, fantastic.
It's a tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Part of the,
Where is it being held?
In here.
Part of the Nova Scotia tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
cool.
pipe band and Highland dancing at 10 o'clock. It must be close.
It is.
Well, it's 10 o'clock right now.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
Just in one of the rooms, or just?
Do you know the Paula Reagan Hall?
Oh, is that
Go
on the main
straight to
floor?
the back. You can see it from here. The big white sign.
Okay. Oh,
It's
yes,
like
yes,
an
yes.
auditorium.
Right, yes, I know where you're referring to. Thank you very much.
All right, if you don't know what the Nova Scotia tattoo is, because you probably don't. I don't know. Can I film in here? I don't know if I can.
It is a public area.
I know. All right, let's shorten things up a little bit here. We're gonna go in for a second just to see what we can see. I can't believe a pipe band though would be playing inside the library. That'd be pretty loud, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, let's get back to the Nova Scotia tattoo. What's the Nova Scotia tattoo, John?
It is an event every year, an international event in which you've got pipe band, like bagpiper bands, and
Here?
Here's for the tattoo.
Yeah.
You are? Would you like a book?
All right,
All
thank
the
you very much.
history.
I'll let you
Thank you.
do that. All right.
and all kinds of different marching bands and other.
Are we going up
musical
or
events.
down?
I think we're heading over this way.
All right.
Hello, Reagan Theater or Hall.
Okay. So we are in the library.
Yeah, they come from all over the world to play here in Halifax. And there's,
So if you like bagpipes,
Yeah.
this is the place to be. Well, or Scotland. But if you can't get to Scotland, come to Canada.
Okay, I'm not sure I'm heading us. Oh, there we go.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. So this is Nova Scotia. Why do we call it Nova Scotia?
Because it is translated from Latin.
Sure, let's go with that.
Nova Scotia means New Scotland.
There you go.
So-
And why is it New Scotland? You can just saw that right now.
Yeah.
Now it's probably going to go on for another 30 minutes or an hour in there, but we are just giving you a snapshot of what's happening here in Halifax today.
On this fine Saturday morning to
Oh.
the afternoon.
All right. So we're going to wander out here.
We got some good harmonies happening right now.
So a little bagpipe music for you guys. And thank you, Olia, for the super chat. Yeah, the music was great. Where should we head down? Let's go towards the waterfront now. Here, we got a nice seagull taking off. Well, that was unexpected. Was it was kind of nice to stumble on that?
Yes.
I would have stayed and watched more, but I couldn't talk to you guys at the same time. So
Right. Serendipity is always good.
that means something. Yeah, John, use big word.
Get the waterfront. There's also public gardens that way as well. Just kind of
Oh
a-
yeah, the public gardens. Do you guys want to see flowers or do you want to see waterfront? Let me know. We're gonna make it turn right now if we're gonna want to see gardens because they're beautiful, and water is just water. But I'm not trying to lead you either way. All right, let's go to gardens.
Okay.
You guys didn't have a chance to answer, but I'm making the decision because you guys aren't talking.
So this way.
Charmaine says that's one place that she wants to see. Oh, she says gardens. All right.
All
so
right,
gotta-
there we go.
Gardens. Gardens it is then. Oh, Ida Marie in Washington, D.C. is on now. Welcome. And she says gardens too. So we will go to the Halifax Public Gardens.
Do the waterfront some other time because the Halifax waterfront is quite beautiful.
Who knows? Maybe we'll pop back on when the girls are with us. I'm not saying we will, but maybe.
Could happen.
So whatever you guys do, don't do anything with your day. Just stay watching YouTube because something might happen. Oh, Steven says he's greedy. He wants both.
I can appreciate that.
All right, well, let's go this way. Because you guys said Lululemon, that's what you want to see? Well, there it is, Lululemon.
Where to spend your entire paycheck on
On one
clothing?
piece of thing.
Nice. That worked out well.
Yeah, very well. So welcome, Ida Marie.
We may walk by the eating establishment we visited last night.
Oh yes, we should walk. We'll show you where we ate. Because it was fantastic.
Good food and robots.
Yes. Normally when we come to Halifax, we go to Buy One restaurant, and it's on Park Street. It's a great Korean restaurant, but we like to try new things. We didn't try a different nationality, but we did try a new restaurant, and I think pretty happy with what we
Yes.
chose, didn't we? Yeah.
I would say I was quite full.
It was an all-you-can-eat. It was a barbecue in front of it, so the robot brings you the meats and the vegetables, and you cook it up yourself. It was very good. What's happening, Ida Marie? What's going on in Washington today? The big city. So,
I've never been to Washington, D.C.
I've only been once. Very nice. Lots of history. Johnny's been all around the world, though.
Sad to say, I've been to a lot of places in the world, but I have not done much traveling in the States. And I know there are a lot of beautiful places to see, and I would love to check it out. So, I think most of these three restaurants coming down here, I think those are all new to me.
Indian, Chinese, and what was the last one?
I can't. What do you?
I can't read it from here.
Oh, I think that might be just the hot sauce shop they've got in there.
Okay.
Oh, there we are.
Coming up to our restaurant right there.
Young Pocha or Young Pocha. unsure of the pronunciation.
Yes. So if you're on Spring Garden Road in Halifax, Nova Scotia, there is a nice place to go. Washington is quiet today. Okay. I thought it would be all hustle and bustle after the big debate.
This is our Park Lane Mall. It used to be a very, very popular mall and one of pretty much only two places to go to see movies. Their cinemas are still there.
Yeah.
The other famous place was the Oxford Cinema on Quinpool Road, which
That
was
is gone.
It is now gone. It has turned into a mountain, kind of an outdoor shop, mountain climbing equipment place.
Okay.
But yet
not Mountain Equipment Co-op.
not a mountain equipment. I don't think so.
Or a trail shop or one of those places.
Yeah, but a similar type of shop.
Okay.
But they still maintain on their little marquee placard out front very, very much movie themed advertising for their shop. Kind of keep in line with the tradition
theme?
of it having been a movie theater kind of thing. It was kind of like, it was one of the old school movie theaters with the gentle slope in the seating and, very, very ornate inside.
All right.
When, movie going was kind of a very special occasion kind of thing.
All right, we're coming up to the corner of South Park and Spring Garden, where the public gardens are.
Yes.
Steven says Moncton to Halifax is apparently 261.8 kilometers. Don't know what that is in miles, but it's 2.5. Yes, that's right. It's about 2.5 hour drive.
From Moncton to here? Hello.
You're doing something?
I am now. All right,
No worries.
we're hitting all the lights at the right time, which is great. So let's flip it around. You can see the gardens here.
So here's I think the idea was to be a replica of British or UK kind of, Victorian gardens?
Victorian gardens, yeah.
Is that the right term?
I think so.
Yeah. So you can see the lovely ornate gates.
You can see the crests right there. And then we can see here are guidelines if you're coming into the gardens. And then you've got a few placards along the way that tell you about what's going on, how big the gardens are. All right, let's go have a walk and see. Not everything is in full bloom yet. We're still only the end of June.
We've had a chillier, a less warm kind of spring into summer, so I think that's kind of made some of the foliage a little more timid to come out and bloom in all its glory.
What do we got?
Some stagnant water.
That's where all our alligators are. No alligators in Canada. We'll go check in all the different things that you can see around here. So they've got some nice houses and things in the little creek here. Now they don't like you swimming in here, but because John is here and he has agreed to do it, we are going to watch him bathe in the park now.
Here we go.
You can see him run down these stairs and jump in. And in the summertime, this is a place where many people come and get their wedding pictures done.
Yes.
So you can see all the nice little bridges. I'm sure graduation pictures are done here during
Yes.
high school time too.
Nice red flowers there.
Yes, some red and white just for Canada Day.
Graduation, prom.
Now these are the flowers that they would tear out after July 1st, right? They just plant them for July 1st and then they stomp them to the ground and
They
they
do.
plant something else?
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe not.
And here's where we pretend that we live in a more arid and dry, more hot climate than we
Yes,
actually do.
Yes. The Canadian desert right here.
Yes.
Thank you, Stephen, for answering some of the other questions that are here. Charmaine's getting seasick from us walking around. I'm sorry about that. And Ida Marie wanted to know exactly how far we are from Halifax. So, yeah, it's not a long drive. It is the longest drive I've done with my electric vehicle, though. So, the electric vehicle can go about 500 kilometers if you're not running the air conditioner and the music and you're going at a good speed. So when I go at the speed that I was driving at, it goes a little quicker.
Some more little succulents making the design. Yes, a lot of more desert.
40 years of, I would have thought it was much older than that. Or is this just an old 40?
It must be an old 40 because, I mean, I was coming here.
Yeah.
I am now 50 and I was coming here before I was 40, so. Or sorry, I was coming here.
You know what he means.
I was less than 10 years old when I was coming here.
The gazebo in the middle of the park with our statues around.
And sometimes you can see the seating there. They've been known to erect a
Little concert going on here in the park.
concert or a movie screen. We've come to movie screenings here in the park and watched them, just sitting down.
All right. And what about the building over here?
That is an ice cream and coffee shop.
Okay.
I don't know what it used to be, but
That's what it is now?
it's what it's been for quite a long time. Yeah.
Okay. So let's wander this way and see what we got. It looks very nice. It's a good day for it. Beautiful gardens, Marie says.
Here we have the main pond in the center.
Charmaine was kidding that she's getting seasick. I see the Titanic. There's a little humor in that, but Halifax has a history with the Titanic here too. So there you go. There is actually a replica.
I don't see. Oh, you can see
Some baby ducks over there.
ducklings across the way.
Zoom in any closer on those. They're kind of going into the weeds on the other side. And then we've got some boats. All right, we're gonna zoom out a bit. You can hear the birds singing. I can too. All right, let's go this way. Around. Happy Canada Day, thank you. Well, happy early American Independence Day to you. Even earlier. Some duckies. A ducky in the water.
I remember I used to have hearing issues as a child, so I would have
What'd you
to
say?
As a child, I used to have hearing issues, so I would come down to the city, to the hospital, for treatments and things. And I remember my
That's
mother.
the IWK hospital, which is that away.
Yes. Yes.
Isaac
Walton Killam.
Killam. There you go.
Children's
IWK
Hospital.
Children's Hospital.
I mean, I think it's more than Children's Hospital now, but yeah. Hello.
Hey.
But yes, it was, and I remember my mother, you know, in between or before, would bring me to the park here, and we discovered that if you had sunflower seeds, you could feed the pigeons, and they would fly up into your hand, which brought me, you know, endless hours of delight.
Okay.
You know,
Didn't make you scared of pigeons?
it did not. But it was one of those things where, you know, it was something I always wanted to do when we came down to the city.
I'll flip this camera around again so you can see what we're seeing. There's a nice fountain over here we can wander towards. You guys are keeping this going. We're already at 50 minutes on this. So as we wander the city. It's a nice fountain, nice flowers. Which way should we go? Identify the flowers if you want, guys. Ari also went to the IWK when he was younger, so I'm very happy of having that children's hospital here.
Yes.
Joe says he's enjoying the walk and the nice birds singing in the background. We haven't seen any raccoons yet or skunks.
No, the raccoons tend to venture out at night. They do appear here, though.
How often do you have wild bear roaming the city?
You know, they get a few locals, you know, 2 or 3 times a week. Keeps the
No bears.
keeps our population down.
Everyone always is afraid to come to Canada because of bears for some reason. We have bears, but they are not wandering around here all over the place.
Yeah,
I'd rather not have an alligator or a deadly snake like you've got in Australia. Crocodile, I guess, not.
I'll put it this way: I grew up out in the country. I have never seen a bear in the wild here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who the other day saw one, but they are extremely rare to see a bear in the wild. And almost 100% of the time, a bear will run away the moment it spots you.
No. There are several different bears.
Yes, you get your black bear, your brown bear,
Grizzly bear.
and your grizzly.
Polar bear.
Yes. Now, if you were out west and spotted something like a grizzly bear, they are not going to run away from you. But we are several thousand kilometers away from there. So,
Ida Marie says, I thought visitors feared the moose. I don't know why you would fear a moose. They're pretty dumb. And yeah, they're not really going to get in your way, and they're not really going to do anything to you. If there were babies around, yeah, be careful of the mums. That's any species, though.
Yeah.
If you go by a swan and they've got babies, be careful. Yeah, moose aren't something you really have to worry about.
the biggest danger from moose are...
Cars.
Yes.
They walk out in front of you, that's it.
Yeah.
Wolfman Collectibles, welcome. Where are you from, Wolfman? What do we have here? Olia says she accidentally found out that I was doing a live stream. Yes, we're doing it at a different time. So thank you for telling Charmaine about it, or otherwise she would have missed it too. You guys are keeping everybody in check. Wolfman's from North Carolina. Well, welcome. I'm sure your weather is beautiful there.
So, did we want to wander again into more of the park, or?
No, let's go out of the park and show them something else. They've seen some flowers now.
So
We're heading kind of back towards the Citadel, the back end of it.
I don't know.
Let's try to get to the...
This big tree just behind the lamppost
All right,
there
we'll turn it around here.
is probably the most famous tree in the public gardens. It's got this very nice low-hanging branch that's great for sitting on and all the rest of it. And now it can add to its list of accomplishments, extremely hardy, as a couple of years ago, some horrible individuals attempted to, they stripped all the bark pretty much all the way around the tree in an attempt to, my guess, kill the tree.
Oh, wow.
And it has survived and come back, and there's a fence erected around it now to help continue it for it to continue to heal, because I think it's still healing, but as you can see, it's
Still surviving.
full of green leaves, so hopefully it continues to thrive.
A moose seem to be the equivalent to kangaroos in Australia. A Carsworth enemy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or deer. We have so many deer that are... I would say deer and kangaroo are probably the equivalent.
Yes.
But
In
I
Truro,
get what you're saying, Stephen, yeah.
I'm gonna say in Truro, which is a town I grew up in about an hour from here, they've got a major deer problem. Like that, you asked if we have a bear problem. There are no bears in the city. There are plenty of deer that just wander around the town that I grew up in. So much so that they had to put what they call a cull, which is have them removed and destroyed kind of thing, because I would wake up in the morning and in my suburb I would see 7 or 8 deer on the lawn just wandering around kind of thing.
Yeah. Here you can see the backside through the trees of Citadel Hill. So we continue to walk that way. We're going to get back down towards the waterfront. So we'll try to do that to appease Stephen so he can see both.
Yes.
Wolfman says he is a new stamp collector, just started last month. Well, congratulations, you enjoy the journey. Are you a young person collecting stamps, finding the hobby? And how did you get into it? That's what I want to know.
Sounds great.
We are trying to get over here.
Coffee? Sorry to interrupt.
No? Wolfman's 41, all right.
I just got a message from our significant others saying that they are up for going out for something to eat.
Okay. So we're going to have to start circling back towards them. We're going to see if we can get you some water, though.
Oh, I think we can
got
walk down,
time?
do kind of like what we did last night, which
Okay,
is
we won't go as far then, we don't have to double back as much. Yeah. Alright, let's flip this back around. I like to try to keep as many people off camera because I don't want to be on. Sometimes I get them anyways, but here's another good view of the back of Citadel. And you can see the buildings inside.
no worries, coming. We are circling back your direction, period.
So the Citadel is fully restored, and it's got actors inside of it, so you can go in all the different buildings as they were, whether it was a garrison, whether it was a kitchen, meeting rooms. They have it all set up, and there's also gift shops in there if you want to buy your postcards. Charmaine says we're getting our exercise today. Yes, we are. Actually, I'm not walking at all. John is here carrying me. I'm just holding the camera.
Yes. One-handed carry.
Yes. He's so strong. All right, ask your questions. What's going on? What do you want to know while we're walking towards this? I'll turn the camera around from time to time so you can see what we're seeing here.
We will attempt to give you a accurate, truthful, and/or historical answer, but in the absence of that, it will at least be
completely
entertaining.
made up. You want to know the weather? John, what is the current forecast on your phone as it stands right now?
Well,
he is now delving into the mysteries of what's happening here. If you look at the camera, you can see it is cloudy here. And when we started the walk, it was 12 degrees Celsius.
or at least that's what the weather app said. It says it's 13 now.
13 degrees.
I am quite positive it is warmer than 13 degrees because I would
Steven
not.
says John has magical powers.
Woohoo! I
So
do.
go.
But I'm quite certain that I don't normally go outside in shorts and a t-shirt when it's only 13 degrees. So it is cool, but I feel like it's got to be like at least 16 or 17. But
For those of you that joined late, intro for John. Okay, here's an intro for John. There's John.
woo!
And John and I have known each other since we were little because our families are connected, and we were university roommates for a while. We went to camp, we counseled together, we cleaned toilets together, we washed dishes together in the camp. So yeah, that's our intro to John. John's one of my best buds.
I'm a good toilet cleaner.
Yep, see that hair? Just gets right in all those corners. So 11 degrees Celsius in Australia, but it is also like 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Okay.
not quite that late, but almost.
11 degrees, that's chilly.
It is chilly. Well, it's winter for them now, John.
Oh yes, yes it would be.
Yeah.
Right.
They're in the southern hemisphere. There's a nice
In that case,
shot of Citadel Hill here and the Garrison Guard on its, yeah. It's pretty nice to be able to have historical landmarks like this that are well upkept.
I was gonna say, if it's 11 degrees in winter, I wish we could get that kind of weather in our winter.
It's 96 degrees Fahrenheit in North Carolina.
That is warm. I mean, that's almost 96 degrees. You know, it's boil water.
Almost. It was like that a couple weeks ago here, though.
Kidding.
The heat wave. Holy.
Yeah. 96, what is that, about 30-some degrees?
Yeah, I would say.
Who wants
Steven
to do,
says it's 11 o'clock at night in Port Lincoln, Australia.
Who wants to do the Fahrenheit Celsius conversion for 96 degrees?
There you go. John does have magical powers. Steven says he must have magical powers as he has keeping you levitated while looking at his phone with both hands.
Well,
You don't know where his third hand was.
Telekinesis always comes in handy.
35.5 degrees Celsius is what
That
the
is-
conversion is.
Wow, that's warm. I lived in China for a couple of years, and where we were,
Doesn't he look like he'd fit in China?
it was from May till the end of September, it was 40 degrees Celsius with a humidex of 48 for 4 or 5 months straight. It was insane.
Joe, I think you can relate with that in India. You're about the only one I think that can relate with that, though.
I have never experienced weather like that.
That does not sound fun. It's 73 degrees Fahrenheit in DC right now.
That seems like a
That
nice
seems
tip.
more like what we're having right now. All right.
We're a little chillier than that, I think, but right now. But
A little bit, but
we'll get up to that later for sure.
yeah. I have a hard time keeping us both in frame, but that's all
Yes.
right. I don't want to walk around with this selfie stick. People are already looking at us, wondering what's going on. And we had a few people say, I don't want to be on camera.
Did we?
Yeah, the homeless people that were on Spring Garden.
Oh, I didn't hear. I
Yep.
didn't hear that.
Stephen wants to know where you were in China because he was also in China at one point in time.
I lived
He
in
taught
a
English.
yes. Well, as
No,
did I.
yeah.
Yeah. I lived in a small city called Luoyang, which is about an hour from a larger city called Changsha, and it's pretty much a straight line north from Hong Kong, about 1,300 kilometers. And unfortunately, it was about 3.5 hour drive south from Wuhan. But
There you go.
yes,
And he was there just before the outbreak.
we left on January 23rd of 2020, and they locked the borders in China on the 25th. And to use the words for the second time in this live stream, it was serendipitous because we did not know that the borders were going to be locked. It just happened to be when we were leaving. So,
And is it true that COVID wasn't in North America until you got here?
I neither confirm nor deny these remarks. Shut it off, shut it off.
Stephen says the hottest he's been is when it was 52 degrees
Oh.
Celsius in rural Australia. I think you might be the winner.
Yes.
Joe, though, you're on. You can say whether you've had it hotter in India. Joe says, luckily we've got rain the last 2 weeks on and off, and the climate is better, or else it would be very, very hot and dry. And Ida Marie says you were lucky to get out when you did.
Yes. I was.
Not lucky for us, though. There are a lot of. Okay, we're gonna turn real quick here. We'll go down this. You guys wanted to see a moose in the wild? There is a moose. It's a cabaret, but
It's a little bloodshot in the eye, so I feel like it might not have been sleeping properly.
so this little street, which is really cool, has all sorts of really fun pubs and eateries along it. It is a one-way, or it's a pedestrian route only, so we
Yes.
can walk out here. The Economy Shoe Shop is a fun little place.
Yes. Argyle Street.
Argyle Street. We are not very far, actually, from Pizza Corner, which is one of the places that Halifax is known for. It used to have pizza donaire shops on 3 of the 4 corners.
Yes.
I don't know if do they still have all 3 of them now?
2 for sure. I can't remember what's on the third one. Yeah, the third one I think has changed up.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, for university students, they would go there and get their cheap slice of pie and their nice donaire after being at the clubs.
We have the regular.
Wolfman says,
I was just-
Charmaine says Wolfman's first name is Rob as well. All right.
Nice.
Welcome, Rob.
The regular closing hour for most of the bars in Halifax, excuse me, is 2 a.m. But you have several downtown bars that close at 3:30 or 3:15. So it's an all-night affair sometimes on the weekend in the university.
Here, we'll hop this way. Okay.
Harbor Hopper again.
And there comes the Harbor Hopper. I think you guys are getting a better tour of the city than you're going to get on the Harbor Hopper, just from us. And the history that you're getting from us and the historical accuracy of the things that we're saying is not like what you get on the Harbor Hopper. Let's just say that. Oh, my first name is Rob, not Wolfman's first name is Rob. Yes, that's true. Wolfman's first name is Joe. Well, welcome, Joe. There is an interesting building right here. Let's see. Do we still have the face in the window? St. Paul's Anglican, established in 1750. Let's see if we can find. Is it on the other side?
Well, usually you see it from inside.
Oh.
I think the reflection's too much. But
We're going to go over this way.
St. Paul's Church, one of the oldest, if not the oldest church of the city.
Halifax.
My cousin is actually the choir director there. They have singing, and I actually sometimes sing in the choir here as well. Well,
We need to back up a little bit further so you can see. We'll show you on the other side. We've got one of the government buildings is on that side of the city. But yes, do you remember the history of why there is a silhouette of a person in the window?
yes, it
Right.
is part of the Halifax explosion, actually, which we mentioned earlier. In one of the windows inside, you can see one of the windows is broken and has been broken since the Halifax explosion happened, and it shattered kind of in the shape of the profile of someone's head. So basically, looking from the side, so kind of like this, it looks like a nose is coming out, and chin and all the rest of it. And they decided it has never been repaired because of the interesting way in which the window shattered to look like the profile of someone's face, kind of thing. And yes. Just one of the, and you know, a remnant in memory of that awful
time.
tragedy. Yes.
The other story is why there's a silhouette in the window. There was a person that was murdered in that church, and every time they replace the window, there is a silhouette that reappears in the new pane. Can you confirm or deny?
I cannot confirm or deny that one, but I believe you.
And you should. I mean, I said it with a straight face, didn't I? Has to be true.
All right, we're getting close to the
How many
waterfront.
Charmaines do you know? I only know you, Charmaine. Rob, do you still have all those U.S. airmail stamps? I do. Are you the same person that reached out and was looking for airmail stamps? If you are, yeah. Send me a message on Instagram. That dad guy, 1974. Okay. And we'll discuss. I've even found some more, so I should be able to put a good collection together. There's a car coming this way, so we'll wait till he goes by. And yeah, we're going this way. And my battery power is below 20%, so we're gonna get to the waterfront, show you what it is, and then we're gonna call it a end of the live stream, because I gotta get this phone charged, which may affect whether or not I get any pictures later on, because I don't have a charge. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you sending me some stamps. I will reciprocate when I have your address too.
Another cobblestone walking street down that way. Granville with the two lions statues.
And if you're in Vancouver, they have the Granville Bridge, and it is also flanked by two lions.
I did not know that. We
Yeah.
have our dance bars in a Pacifico Dance Club.
Nice big doors.
Old building.
Yeah.
We do a lot of filming in that building for all the various television and movie productions that come here.
So there you go. There's something else you don't know, or you may not know about John, is he works in the film industry. He's what you call a fluffer? No. He works in catering. He works in sound. If you want to see any sort of Canadiana, he's probably a part of it here in Nova Scotia. Joe in North Carolina says he used to do catering. Do you used to do catering on the film industry or just catering in general? There's a distinction.
Yes. Joe must have a little insanity in him, just like me, because I feel like anybody who works in food, especially in the film industry, we're all a little quirky for sure.
How long would your days be, John?
Usually no shorter than about 14 hours.
And how many days a week?
Always 5 days a week.
For how many months?
It's about 6.
Can you imagine working that many hours for that duration? Yes, you get the winters off, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and very often it can stretch into 16-hour days. and sometimes 6-day weeks if they decide they are behind. This is a very popular area for folks who like motorcycles to come down and hang out.
Okay, we'll go down to the end here.
Ooh, we've got a very nice bike here.
Here, crossover, so these guys. Da, da, da. Stephen wants to know how I'm going to explain what a fluffer does. And Ida Marie says, you're right, food industry is crazy. Stephen says, should you just Google it?
Well, I'm not about to explain it on the live stream, so.
No, I think your best bet is to just go with the flow and disregard anything that I said. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Googling it is not a good idea. That is your disclaimer. Ida Marie says, nice waterfront. You haven't even seen it yet. You can just see a little. There's the Halifax terminal over there, which takes you over to Dartmouth.
Ferries, yeah. This is the Cable Wharf, which houses Murphy's on the Water, a restaurant I worked at for 3 years, sorry. I waited tables. Sometimes I worked on this boat right here, the Harbor Queen. Or no, this was not the Harbor Queen.
That's going to the George Island National Historic Site, which we learned earlier is where all the people with leprosy went, right? Is that what you said?
Exactly. So it is taking off. I took this boat to go over to George's Island on a tour.
So all these people on board, John, have leprosy and are being taken there now? Is that what you're saying?
They will be dropped off. This is the Harbor Queen right here. It is modeled after kind of a Mississippi paddle wheel boat. You can see the paddle wheel on the back. If we were back there.
Yeah, see, I don't see a paddle wheel.
Yeah.
We're looking at the front of the boat, not the back of the boat. So that's why you can't see it. But if you look over here, you can see the ferry that is loading up to go to Dartmouth. All right, let's wander along the wharf a little bit. Charmaine says she misses her boat. All right.
This store right here.
Before we get to that store, we have to get to this store.
Okay.
What's famous about this store? Not the building, the Cow's ice cream.
From PEI.
It's from Prince Edward Island, yes. So this is a famous maritime ice cream. And we get a bird flying at us because the little kids are chasing them. So yeah, Cow's ice cream, famous maritime ice cream. Yeah. All right, now we'll talk about the one you want to talk. Peace by Chocolate.
Peace by Chocolate. This is owned and run by an immigrant family from, and I'm unfortunately going to admit my ignorance here, but I believe from Iran or Iraq.
Syria.
Syria. Okay.
There you go.
Not even close. Okay.
Well, you're in the right vicinity. But.
So they emigrated here a number of years ago now.
Yep.
And they started just there, I think in Antigonish, maybe?
That's possible. I think somewhere, yeah.
In a much smaller part of Nova Scotia, decided to do chocolate.
That Dad Guy 1974 is my Instagram. Carry on. Yep.
And they have, built themselves up with a lot of hard work. And now I think they've got a couple of different stores, and they've got this massive storefront on the Halifax waterfront, which is a huge accomplishment. And a lot of their chocolate products can be found in many of the regular grocery stores around Nova Scotia, and I'm guessing throughout the Maritimes.
Yep, they're all around, and they've had a movie made of themselves about their success here,
which I think was also featured at what we call the Devour Film Festival, held in Nova Scotia every year as well, which is a wonderful little event done in the fall where they have movies about food and famous celebrity chefs and different foodie personalities, and then they have lots of people come in and cook for you. So it's a wonderful thing to experience.
So what's the story about these steps? What is the religious significance of these steps to Halifax Harbor?
You might know better than I do.
You can see this woman about to be baptized. Okay.
Not by choice, I'm going to say. Oh, looks like you might have some more pipers here.
Wherever we go, kilts shall follow. So they are getting ready to take over the city. Actually, it's Scotland is invading Canada right now. No, not at all. Get ready to be loud. So what we saw at the library a few minutes ago, they're continuing on here a little bit, and we're getting another display. You can see a few people are a little bit more dressed up now. They've got their hats as well.
different group, I believe, as I think the kilt pattern is different.
It is, yeah. They're from Ontario?
These guys are from Ontario.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys like a brochure? Oh, yeah.
We have one, yeah.
We were just at the library.
Sounds like wait from 11 to 11:30.
It looks like they're going to start in about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. I don't know if my battery's going to last that long. Now, they have a talent. They're playing the bagpipes, but they all sound like ukuleles. I don't know if we're going to have time to stick around to hear them sound like ukuleles, but...
Trust us. Take our word
yeah,
for it.
trust us. It's going to happen.
Oh, wait.
What you don't know is John is an accomplished Highland dancer. As proven right there.
We will now have to burn this film.
Back up here. Lena from Belarus is on. Welcome, Lena. Welcome to New Scotland. That lady is carrying a hairy mammoth on her drum.
And as you can see, that person is adorned with their
Animal skin.
the trophy of their hunt.
Very famous in Ontario. They're cheetahs. And if you pay them $5, they'll come up and hug you, just like they're doing right here. $10, you get to see what's under the kilt. My battery power is at 10%. We are about to go. So if it cuts off in the middle of this, you guys have a magical week. But we'll,
And thanks.
hold on. I haven't cut you off yet.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it today.
Not a problem. So we're gonna run this, and then we'll run out at the end here. So hopefully you get a few more minutes to hear what they're gonna do here. And thanks for joining us in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Couldn't have been a better day. Well, I mean, it could have been a better day, but we've had lots of surprises
We
here.
could have found $1 million on the sidewalk. That would have made it a better day.
We still might find $1 million on the sidewalk as we rock home. Get ready? Let's flip it around. Ready? They're doing a circle performance. Ida Marie says, thanks for the good tour, John. I can't see you. Glad you guys got to catch it too.
And if you see that gentleman walking around behind the pipers,
Yep.
I believe he is currently tuning the bagpipes. Although I'm not sure how one would actually be able to,
Tune it with all this going on?
yeah.
There was a Scottish soldier. All right, I'm gonna lose the battery, so you guys have a magical week.
Cheers. Bye-bye.